One, Alex Camelio, the president of BarCode Realty, and also the very handy contact for the 2015 AEI web app. So I will let him get started on walking you through how to customize your AEI experience. Alex?
Perfect. So first of all, just a little audio check here. Courtney, you can hear me. It's not cutting in and out. Any issues? We're all good?
We're all good.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining. As Courtney mentioned, my name is Alex Camelio. I am the president of a company called BarCode Realty, and I am honored to once again be speaking at the Association Executives Institute this year. So I hope you all come see that. But also, we're going to be running the mobile event system for AEI, and that's why we're here today. We're going to go over how to use the system and basically how to use it to get the absolute most out of the conference that you're about to attend. So we're going to take you through everything from how to access it originally, through how to log in, what sort of things you can get to, and some of the features and functionality that you might be interested in as you go on. So to begin with, to access the site, you're going to go to aei.barcoderealty.com. It's a very quick domain. It is a mobile website, not necessarily a native app. And the reason we do that is so we can see consistent updates and things going on as the conference goes on. So you can always go to aei.barcoderealty.com. Now, depending on which device you're traveling there from, there will be a couple of different ways down here to add it to your home screen. Since I'm on a desktop computer, there's really no good way to add it to a home screen. But if you're on an iOS device, so like an iPhone or an iPad, there's going to be a button here that says iOS app, and it'll walk you through how to add it to the home screen of that device. And for Android devices, basically the same thing. It's going to say Android app here and give you a link to actually download that to your local device. Of course, though, you can always access it through aei.barcoderealty.com. Now, once you get here, there are a number of different features that you can use for the conference and to make your conference experience a little bit easier. So the first one is your schedule. And of course, what's a conference without a packed schedule of events to go to? So if we look at the schedule here, the first thing we'll notice is that you can select different tracks. So there are different categories of classes that you can select to go to, and it'll filter this entire search down by that. The next thing you'll notice here is that I've left a View Previous Sessions button. The reason that we do that is as events happen, so as the day goes on, some of these events are going to start to disappear from the list. So if they've already happened, they're just in the past, they're going to disappear from this list here because we want you to see what events are upcoming, what's going on next. That being said, we also want you to be able to get back to the previous sessions if you want to go and look up the handouts or things like that from the different speakers. So you can always go here, View Previous Sessions. It'll show you the entire list of what's going on and what's already gone on for you, and then you can go to any one of the classes from there. Now, we can go here and actually pick one of the sessions that we might be interested in going to. And we'll see at the bottom, we have the full description, everything that's going on for the class, when it is, who the speaker is, and then the ability to add it to your calendar here. Now this add to your calendar, this actually makes it so that it'll add to your local calendar on your phone. So it'll sync with all the other calendars that you have on your phone or on your tablet. That's a really nice piece, but you can actually go one step further and start creating an account to create basically which sessions you want to go to, what your favorites are, so you can stay up to date on those. Now, I'll go back to the home page here, but you'll notice that the register and login button is at the bottom of every page right in the footer. So we'll go back to home, and we'll actually log in from here and create an account. So the first thing we'll do is we'll say, all right, I want to create an account, or I want to log in. So you can always log in with your account that you've created here, or you can create a brand new account. Now, I'm going to plug in my name and a couple other things here. And one thing we're going to notice here is we'll say create my account. For example, this email is already being used. So I've already created this account. I might want to log in with it. There are a number of different tests that we put it through. So, we're getting a valid name, a valid email address, things like that when you're logging in. So make sure you're not just filling in dummy data or things like that into these forms. But I can go and I can say, you know what, I want to go and enter my other email address that I know is not being used, create an account for this, and I've already been logged into the account here. So then, now if I go home, you'll notice that there are all of these stars down the right-hand side of the page. And if you go back to your schedule, there are all of these stars for the sessions right down the right-hand side of the page. If you select any one of those, they're going to highlight. So I want to go to the Certified Professional Standards class. I want to go to ePro on day 1. And I want to go to Commercial Membership by Design. So I've picked those as some of my favorite classes that I want to go to. And we'll go back to the account page here. And you'll notice that all of those classes are there. So these are your favorite classes. Now, there are 2 ways to use this. The first way that we see a lot of people do is they pick out all the classes that they want to go to beforehand. So days before the event, they'll go through, they'll pick out their classes, and they'll come up with all their favorites. The other way that we've seen people use this is as they go through and take each class, and they want to remember what they've taken, or that they want to go back for specific handouts or things like that, they add them to their favorites there. So even if you don't use it to, create your calendar before the event, you can still use a tool like this to pick out your favorites and think about which handouts you want to go back to as the event goes on. Now, if you want to unfavorite or change any of these, all you do is click here, turns it off, and there it is. So that's a great way to log in and use your account to work within the schedule. Now let's show you a few other things that, that you can use this account for in terms of the schedule items. So we'll go back to the list and into one of the actual classes. The first thing you can do on the left-hand side here is actually talk about your classes. Add a tweet out to the world about what you liked about the class, or make some comments, or ask questions of other people and what they thought. It's a great way to interact with other attendees at the same event. You can also go here to actually pick one of the speakers and then see all of the speaker details. Name, their background, you can add them to contacts, email them, visit their website, see what other sessions they're presenting. And then if they've provided any handouts, you can get all the handouts here as well as on the class itself. So you can go back and get all of the handouts from a particular speaker, or under here, under downloads, if they've provided handouts for this specific class, they'll be in this list as well. Now the last item, the very last item here is the ability to leave reviews. So we've, once again, just like we did last year, we had an amazing turnout last year for people leaving reviews, so we've decided to stick to a very similar model and allow you to leave reviews on all the different classes that you've gone to and attended. The great part here is that we can get a very good idea afterwards in terms of the people that are attending, the people that are reviewing the class, and what speakers we want to have for years into the future. So talk it up amongst your friends. It really does benefit you, the attendees of the conference, as well as NAR for putting on the conference. So just keep in mind that you want to come back and leave reviews. The way this works is 10 minutes before the end of the class, this section will turn into a review, and basically 3 questions. Rate the program, rate the speaker, and general comments. And you'll fill in all that information and submit it, and it'll submit back to us. And we'll be able to aggregate the data very quickly. Now, this, again, will only show up 10 minutes before the end of the class. We don't want people leaving reviews, 2 days before the class ever happened. So from that point forward, you'll be able to leave reviews for those classes. So, keep that in mind, and we'd love for you to do it. Now from there, we're going to go back to the home page and start walking through some of the other features in general. Now, beyond the schedule, you can actually get to all of the speakers directly and get to their information. So we can go here and, for example, see my whole profile. Get in touch with me on social media. We want to make it very, very easy for you to contact these speakers and get in touch with them and interact with them. So we try to give as much information as possible, depending on what the speakers have provided for themselves. We'll go back to the home page. We also have a floor plan for the event. Now, the floor plan is for both the Hyatt Regency and the Fairmont. This image will change sizes based on the size device you have. So if you have an iPad, it's going to be a little bit bigger. If you have a smartphone, there's that. And you can actually click on it to get to a full page, or then you can zoom in and zoom out with your device if need be. Now, after the floor plan, to give you an idea of where you're going at the event, let's get an idea of who's actually sponsoring this event and who's putting it on for everybody. You'll see a number of different sponsors here, and these are all listed out alphabetically. Or you can filter the items. For example, we go to one of the sponsors, you can get the sponsor details, logo, and some contact information for them. So again, we'll go back to the home page and continue on from there. Now, another feature that you do need to log in or have a registered account for is the auction, the RPAC auction. We're putting this on once again. It's very, very similar to the way this worked last year. We have auction items, and we can select any one of these, see what all the details are about the auction item, and then if we've registered and created an account and logged in with it, we can start entering bids. The one big difference from last year in terms of the bids is this year you're going to be getting email notifications that basically say you've been outbid. So you don't have to necessarily follow along with this every second of the day. You will get some email notifications letting you know that. I really hope everybody enjoys the RPAC auction. We had a great turnout last year and really hope to even have a better one this year. So I'm definitely excited for that. Now, after the silent auction, we have the directions. And these are directions on how to get to the event itself. Now, as you can see, I'm in Vermont, and this would be quite a long drive for me. But if you're at, say, a local restaurant or things like that, and need to find your way back, it's a nice little tool to be able to quickly get back to the hotels where the conference is located. Now, after the directions here, we have the Twitter feed. And we're really promoting everyone using the hashtag AEI 2015. This is a great way for you to interact with your other conference attendees, talk with them about what's going on, invite people out to dinners or meetings or things like that. It's a great way to be social about the event. So you can see what everyone else has said using that same hashtag. And then on the right-hand side here, you can select what you want to do. Do you want to view the tweet, reply to it, retweet it, favorite it? Again, just really giving you ways to interact with everybody else at the conference. So it's a nice tool, and I hope you see a lot of usage out of it in terms of the Twitter feed. Now, after that, we have some basic about us or contact us information about the National Association of Realtors and the folks putting on this event. If you do need any information about us, or if you're having an issue or problem or questions or things like that, feel free to use this here to contact us. Gives you a little bit of background on us. Call, email, visit our website, get in touch with us on social media. We try to be as responsive as we possibly can be. We really, really want to see this work perfectly and support everybody in using it. So don't ever hesitate to reach out to us, ask questions, suggest improvements, report bugs, anything that might be going on. We're always happy to hear from everybody. So we really appreciate that. And last but not least, certainly not least, is the full site. The way this is set up is if you do need some information that is not on the mobile site here, you can get to the full site right here. That's essentially just going to open up into a new tab and get to the site, get to the NAR site or the Realtor.org site. So that really covers the use and implementation of the conference and event system. how to create an account, log into your account, use the auction, use the schedule, interact with interact with the event. So we're very, very excited to see you use it. Again, if anybody has any questions, we're more than happy to answer them. And unless, I guess, Courtney, unless I'm missing anything, or if folks have questions, I think we're all set at this point.
No, I think you covered everything. Thank you, Alex. And just FYI to everyone, this has been recorded, and we will be putting it on the AE web app page of Realtor.org. But I do have one question from David Jenkins, I believe. Let me unmute your line. Hold on just a second. Or you can also send questions via the chat box. Give me just 1 second here.
Line unmuted.
David, your question, please. No, maybe not.
Hello.
David?
Can you hear me?
Yep, go ahead. David, did you have a question?
On the mobile site, does it indicate where each event is at the different hotels?
It will. That is actually something that I need to put in, and I will be doing that this afternoon. So
okay, great.
As of tomorrow morning, you'll be able to see all of that information on there as well.
Great. Thank you.
Yep. And one other.
Line muted.
If you decide to pick all of your favorites out, once those are updated, it'll automatically show up on your account page. So just pick out your favorites as they are, and you can always go back to your account page the day or two before the event to see exactly which hotel and location they're at.
And let me see. I think that is all. If anyone else has a question, feel free to use the little hand icon to raise your hand, and I'll unmute you. Or feel free to use the chat box. We'll wait just a little bit to see if anyone else has a question. I think that is it. So thank you again, Alex. We're all looking forward to being in Vancouver and using the site again.
Absolutely.
And,
awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Perfect. Well, again, if anyone has any questions or suggestions or anything that we can help with, please let us know. I'll just put out an email address now, which is happiness@barcodepublicity.com. Again, that's happiness@barcodepublicity.com. If you email there, it'll go out to our entire team, and we'll respond accordingly.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. See you all in Vancouver.